Hello everyone and welcome back to Sonic 3 Complete. We're completing the rest of the Sonic 3 portion of the game. It's weird how every bit of the Sonic stuff we did for this is all 3 parts, because Sonic 1's 3 parts, Sonic 2's 3 parts, the Sonic 3 section is 3 parts, the Sonic and Knuckles section is 3 parts.
You know something that I only just found out playing Sonic 3 Air like last week? There are 50 rings on the snowboarding section. There's just one set of 10 rings that's absurdly hard to get, but...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I also just learned of them myself like a couple of months ago, and I was like, where are you talking about? Because I always thought like the snowboarding sequence was just an automated set piece.
In Sonic 3 Air, they made it an achievement to unlock secrets to get those 50 rings in one pass. So... I basically just restarted the level over and over until I managed it, but the jump to get those other 10 rings is so precise, and you have no way of really knowing it.
Yeah, it's like, what's the visual indicator for that kind of thing?
There is none. It's pure trial and error, but...
Oh, alright.
But, like, you have to skip...
Just curious.
You have to skip one of the segments where Sonic loops into the foreground. The second segment.
Oh wait, like there's like a little S-turn, basically?
Yeah. It's the second one that you have to skip, but like you can't jump too late because then the slope gets too steep, and when he jumps, he goes too far and overshoots it entirely. It's really precise.
Yeah. You know, a little tidbit that I like about Sonic 3 Complete specifically, that I don't think even Air does, is that when every act begins, every level comes with its own unique emblem on the title card. In the original game, it was all just the Angel Island palm trees. Yeah. Complete changed it to make it an asset unique to that act. So like, Ice Cap is a snowflake, and Lava Wreath is like a fireball or some other shit, and Death Egg is like the Death Egg.
Yeah, there are a few things that Sonic 3 Complete does that Sonic 3 Air doesn't, because it was like work unique to that particular ROM hack maker. Like Sonic 3 Air doesn't have all the unique sprite animations for Supersonic, for example.
No.
It also doesn't. It also doesn't have the option to return the zones to their original intended order. Because Sonic 3 Complete has like special transition scenes that they created for that purpose.
It's like it's kind of the thing that just comes with like different people working on different iterations of like Sonic 3. So like we have like Sonic 3, the Richard Donner cut, and like Zack Snyder's Sonic 3.
Oh God, don't! Zack Snyder's Sonic 3 is like
they restore the aspect ratio.
Oh yeah, black and white Sonic 3. You know.
Yeah.
It's still better than Sonic 3 Justice.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
At least the Yuji Naka cut.
What's your superpower? Making a little swishy thing appear above my face.
Now, there are some mods to Sonic 3 Air that attempt to sort of recreate the Sonic 3 Complete aspects, but that's all like stuff that you'd have to hunt down on your own, and some of it isn't entirely complete. So even with Sonic 3 Air out there, there's still reasons to play Sonic 3 Complete as well. It's a little strange.
Really just makes me wonder like exactly what the Origins version of this game is going to be. It's basically I'm thinking it's only going to be widescreen.
I was going to say, I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting just widescreen, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, if they just give us widescreen and maybe the option to fight Big Arm in Sonic 3 and Knuckles as every character rather than just Knuckles, I would be happy with it.
Yeah, that was really weird how they just get rid of Big Arm for Sonic's campaign when you combine it with 3 and Knuckles.
It makes a weird sort of sense because, like, that's a final boss, and once the game is assembled into a complete package, they want it to have a smoother difficulty curve overall. But at the same time, Big Arm wasn't that hard.
Yeah, and the other launch-based boss is piss easy. Like, disproportionately so, I would say.
Yeah.
And if you're super, you just stand there, so...
Yeah. Like, I mean, even if you're not super, you can just literally just bounce on him and insta-shield the rest.
Yeah, but like... The Death Egg blowing up and crashing after launch-based zone without the Big Arm boss is just the most anticlimactic thing ever.
It's like the most flimsy space station in the world.
It's like
Also, the angle of that scene doesn't make any sense because that platform that you're on for that boss fight is underneath the death egg, and then it falls off, and then suddenly the death egg is like 3 miles away.
Oh,
It's like, what happened?
speaking of Sonic 3 Complete, one thing that Sonic 3 Complete does that Sonic 3 Air doesn't is a transition after Launch Base Zone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's actually pretty neat too.
Yeah, kind of like I forgot that ring was there.
Oh, I always forget that. Right.
No, I mean, like, I just played Sonic 3 Air the other day, like I said, and I went up there and I got the rings and then I went straight back down.
Oops.
Go me.
I'm always finding like new rings whenever I go back to this game. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was there. Oh, I didn't know that was there. It's like, huh.
I get that the most with Carnival Night.
I mean,
Yeah.
Carnival Night and Flying.
I mean, I
Factory.
already had Supersonic by this point, so it doesn't really matter, but, like,
Yeah.
even so, that's 50 rings I missed.
I was gonna say you could always use more rings.
It's like the first time I ever discovered the hidden ring that's underneath the spikes that you push along the way.
Oh
and
yeah,
I discovered that on
yeah.
YouTube in like 2012, and I've been playing the game since the 90s, so...
Yeah, same. Like, it's fascinating.
I feel
the
like
kind of
that's
shit that
kind
you
of the
really
case
don't see
with.
it.
I was gonna say every game, but that's just simply untrue. But with like a lot of games, I feel like people sort of, when they go back to that, there's always something hidden that you missed.
It's not even going back to. It's not like we're taking 20-year breaks between playthroughs. It's like we play these games fairly regularly enough.
Yeah, I mean, for
So
a
it's
long
like-
for a
so
long
it's
time,
like
I played this at least once a year. You know.
Yeah, so it's like, we're good enough to get Supersonic by like the second zone of the game, maybe earlier if you really know what you're doing. It's like, oh, I'm still finding new things. That's good.
I mean, there was like, I'm thinking of like that one tweet of Super Mario 64 where there's that hidden one-up on Whomp's Fortress at the very top that there were so many people
the
who
wall.
were like, I didn't know that was there. And I just, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from the level design, but I feel like it's not just like a Sonic exclusive thing. I think there's a lot of games where, there's like this stuff where you never found it before.
It's not strictly a Sonic thing. It just seems to happen a lot with Sonic 3 and Knuckles
Well,
in general.
Yeah, there are other games with cool secrets, but there weren't very many games from this time period, specifically in the platforming genre, with levels this expansive. Like most platformers of the time, and to be honest, most platformers in general have generally more focused level designs. Whereas,
Well, I would say Sonic 3's levels are so big just because Sonic runs so fast. Which sounds stupid when you say it out loud, because of course you need the levels to be big in order for moving fast to mean anything.
Ryan, what
I
was
guess
that?
is-
I was trying
what I'm
not.
trying
Hit spikes and he died.
Well, no, Ted. Okay, you know what? No, I'm gonna say no. Sonic runs fast in Sonic Adventure 2, but those levels aren't half as big, just in terms of area that you can explore. There's
I mean,
more.
I think you're comparing apples to oranges here. Some of the levels in SA2
I'm comparing
are
a Sonic
fairly
game to a Sonic game.
big. Yeah, but if you
Yeah, but which one's Sonic Apple? Which one's Sonic Orange?
But the reason these levels are so big is because they're designed to be multi-tiered and explorational. You're supposed to have at any given time, at least 2, usually 3, sometimes 4 different ways that you can go to reach the same endpoint. So, it's like they're not.
I'm more talking about the space. There is just inherently, because it's a Sonic game, lots of dead space so that Sonic can run fast and you can actually appreciate it.
Yeah.
For example, it's not here, but there was a section at the fairly beginning of the game, the level, where not much was happening, but you got to enjoy Sonic running forward. For a
Yeah,
decent
but
while.
those aren't the places where the secrets are.
I know.
So,
I'm just
it's
saying,
kind
but
of
if you were to compare where the secrets are versus, there's games, you're just more likely to find the secrets in other games because there are less tiers. But here, that stretch of level design is part of what makes the game feel so big. But you're just running forward. There's not a lot there. I would say that on average, there's probably about as many secrets in Sonic as there is in Castlevania or Mega Man. If we were to
I would
percentage,
disagree,
if we were to
actually.
make it
Especially Mega Man. Mega Man doesn't really have secrets.
I was
Well, it
pulling
has
stuff
some,
out of
but,
my I was
like-
pulling stuff out of my hat, but you know what I
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, it's not that Sonic has more secrets than anything else. It's just the stages are bigger, and the reason why the stages are bigger is so that Sonic can run fast.
I thought you say that
That's-
though.
you
Sometimes
know-
the secret ring is like fighting
I don't know.
against the
I think
automated
that's kind of
turret.
I think that's kind of doing it like a disservice to the level design mentality going from game to game, because like if you were to talk about like say Sonic 1, you'd find that the level design was a lot more like in line with what you would expect of other platformers, right? And then when you get to Sonic 2, Ryan, what? And then when you get to Sonic 2, a lot of the level design is like, it has this kind of like openness to it where if you're good, you can sort of jump at just the
the
right
level.
time and get massive airtime and end up like on a completely different track within the level. But it's mostly horizontal anyway. And then when you get to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like comparing Sonic 3 and Knuckles to Sonic 2, the level design very like purposefully slows down in comparison to the previous game. I'm sure you've noticed it if you've ever played the games back to back.
I mean,
But-
I feel like I'm getting off. I'm like, my point was basically just that like Sonic games have secrets, and they're nice, but I always feel like when people are talking about, oh, these games have so many secrets and looking for them, I feel like, I don't know, it kind of goes against the whole point of the game. Not that, oh god, I'm doing a terrible job explaining myself. Because the main appeal of Sonic is going fast. Like that, I feel
When?
like that's not a controversial thing to say. Like that's the whole point of the character.
You-
and,
Yeah,
I
like,
people
mean,
play
you
Sonic
say
games for different.
that's-
People play. Hold on, people play Sonic games for different.
I mean,
reasons.
people.
Speed.
I mean, yeah. Like for some
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
the main appeal of Super Mario 64 is jumping backwards and going up a set of
Going up
stairs.
flight of stairs in their ass. Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean,
You
the
say
core
that's-
appeal, the broad appeal of Sonic the Hedgehog is that, unlike many other games, this character moves fast and there's a flow to the movement. That's like one of the base appeals of the
well,
character.
I mean, you say that's not a controversial point, but it's the centerpiece of most modern versus classic controversy. So
like even I'm not. Here's the thing: it's not even like this was even back then. Blast processing running. Like I feel like that Sonic runs fast is a huge appeal to the character. Shouldn't be a controversial
well,
thing. That's
there's
what
a difference.
the whole
There's a
game is
difference
based
between an appeal and the appeal. You
like
know?
that's certainly what they're going for, though. I feel like, you know, and I mean having secrets.
But this
there
thing though,
is-
like it's kind of interesting to think about. Like, what was the general consensus with Sonic, like in terms of like what appealed to gamers
I
back in the
mean-
'90s? You know, because obviously, like the whole, to use the blast processing example, that was all marketing and all that sort of thing. Like Sonic Speed
was
was
thinking
definitely marketed, but at the end of the day, when the consumer is purchasing the game, why did they buy the game? Was it just because of his speed? Was it because Sonic?
Well,
was
I
blue?
mean,
was it because of Tails?
I can only
That sort
speak
of
to
thing?
my experience playing these games as a kid, but like and you know, when it comes to marketing Sonic as being fast, my first exposure to Sonic was Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, where that was his only character trait. So,
but it
Because
worked.
personally,
It got
I
you
got
to buy the game.
I got into Sonic because I thought he looked
Well,
cool. It wasn't like the speed was kind of secondary.
actually,
honestly.
he didn't get me to buy the game because I was too young to buy the game. Got my dad to buy Sonic Spinball though, but like,
Yeah.
I sort
Fool.
of found my way to the main Genesis collection from the wrong end, because I wound up getting into it, like not even from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, specifically Sonic and Knuckles.
I just feel like it's somewhat disingenuous to think that the main appeal to Sonic after these original games was that it was about exploration.
No.
because
That's
it's
just not really.
it feels like that's become the narrative, and I don't feel like that's. The case.
I'm going somewhere with how I'm framing this. The thing was, like, it was all well and good back in the day to like enjoy Sonic going fast when he did, and to see that as like a cool element of his character, like his superpower. But, and this is like really embarrassing to like relive, because it's dumb grade school imaginary games, but like back then
Mario
it's
versus
not
Sonic.
like we limited ourselves to just thinking about it in those terms. The Sonic and Knuckles that I played, that me and a cousin played in like the grade school parking lot at recess, weren't like super speed powers. They were like fire and ice powers. No joke. We were the original people who originally thought of Sonic Boom Fire and Ice.
I was gonna say, so we have you to blame for Sonic Boom.
So like it's not like kids. It's not like kids automatically tunnel vision onto one cool thing, you know? And when we're playing these games, we're not good enough to play this game fast. We're playing this worse than like.
Yeah, but the game is built to make you go fast without
It's not-
trying at
it's
least
not-
a couple times every
No,
level. You just
it's-
did one there.
Yeah, a couple times every level. That's like 2% of your game time, you realize.
Yeah, but you will remember that people do focus on the 2% of stuff that really sticks with them.
Dude.
And like, I mean,
Dude.
like you
And the
just
casual
had
audience
about,
is expecting to go fast.
Dude,
yeah, like
dude,
you just
like-
had a good, out of the past 2 minutes, you just had a good, let's say, 30 seconds
Speaking
doing nothing but holding a direction, or not even holding anything at all, like when you were going through the pipes or whatever. This has
Dude,
always been an
when I'm-
element of Sonic.
When
like
I'm
there,
yeah,
like, you didn't have
I'm
to
not
touch the
contesting
controller
that
at
it's
all.
an element of Sonic, but what I am also saying is that Sonic is about speed is more of a focal point now than it was then when we were playing the games. When we were playing the games, like, we didn't have this argument, all right? We had the game in front of us, and it was about speed and it was about exploration, and nobody was arguing that it wasn't about either of those things. And, you know...
My favorite thing to do back when I was little playing these games, one of the reasons why I prefer this over 2 is just that I'm always finding new, big rings. It's like I like taking new paths and seeing what I can get out of it, versus in like Sonic 2, where it's like, oh, I went on a new path. It's like, okay, I might get a life that I don't need because the game's not hard to me anymore.
There's different speed and exploration balances between all of the games, and that's a major part of why, like, one person might prefer Sonic 2 over Sonic 3 or vice versa. Like, I brought this up during the Sonic 2 playthrough, but like, the strengths of Sonic 2 don't come back until Sonic Mania. It has like a different sort of level design flow that does like focus in more on speed than exploration without necessarily sacrificing it, mind, but it's...
So you see, that reason is why I think Sonic 2 is still held in such a high regard, is because it managed to find that almost perfect balance, I want to say.
Yeah, but then at the same time, those players who appreciate it a little bit more when they can look back at a game and say, I'm always finding new things, they tend to appreciate Sonic 3's level design more, because that's just where the level design leans. It's not necessarily... It's about exploration, but it is a major, like, draw.
Compared to Sonic 2.
Compared to
specifically.
Sonic 2,
What do you mean?
and, like...
Hi, big arm.
In Sonic Mania, one of the excellent things about Sonic Mania is that we get to, like, have our cake and eat it, too, with regard to the speed and exploration
I don't know. Maybe
debate.
I'm just a wet blanket, but the way I've always heard people talk about it, it's like, oh, there's so many secrets in Sonic. That's why it's special. It's like,
But I
every
would
game
also,
has
you
secrets.
can't, there's no absolute reasoning as to why folks enjoy a Sonic
I
game. though.
know, and I'm not saying they're wrong for liking it because it has secrets. I'm
That's-
just saying that I don't think that Sonic having
Ted-
secrets necessarily makes it.
Let me
Every
put it,
platformer
let me
has
put it, let me,
Can I...
Hold on, hold on, come on. Let me just...
You all can
let's
tell me
finish.
why I'm
Let-
wrong.
No,
all
no,
right?
I'm
There's
not
multiple-
telling you that wrong.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
I'm not
saying.
telling you
I'm
that
saying
wrong.
let Ted... Let's let Ted finish his point for once.
Yeah. It's just when I hear people talk about why these games are the best 2D platformers a lot, and it's because, and obviously people hold them in high regard because of course they do, because they grew up with them and they enjoy them, and there's elements to them that stick with them. And obviously Sonic is fairly unique in terms of platformers because there's really not many other platformers that go for this specific style of really big levels where you get points where you can run fast and enjoy spectacle, but also points where the level design allows for intricate platforming. Like, you could say that there's a lot of platformers like Mario, there's a lot of platformers like Mega Man, there's a lot of platformers like Castlevania. Like, that's true. There's not a lot that's like Sonic, and I understand that. But with that said, I feel like Sonic is special because it puts together a lot of elements that are not seen together in a blender all at once. With that said, some things that just annoy me when people talk about the game is specifically that, oh, but Sonic has all this exploration and that's actually what made the game good. No, not really. It's not just that. Lots of games have exploration and have that element and focus more on it. Lots of games focus on...
I think the praise falls more in the bubble within the Sonic.
Yes,
game,
I'm just
not
saying that I don't
not
think
necessarily
Sonic,
against like all platformers.
I guess to put my point into one word, I don't think Sonic does any one of those specific things aside from just going fast and having huge spectacle better than any other specific platformer. I don't think that the point-to-point
agree, but I'll let you
platformer
finish.
is necessary. Like, the point-to-point platforming, I don't necessarily think is better than Mario, for example. I don't necessarily think that the exploration is more interesting than Castlevania. I just think what makes Sonic good is that it's all of those things put into one and distilled properly for specific proportions. I don't know if I
make a small point. Most of the conversations that I've heard regarding this subject aren't really comparing Sonic to other platformers so much as comparing Sonic to Sonic. A lot of those conversations are more about like the direction that the fan base believes that Sonic should go. Like, people who maybe wanted to expand on what exactly made the entire classic formula hold together when they're talking about like why Sonic Heroes maybe didn't work, or why Sonic
I still to this
has some
I
kind
still
of
think
strengths.
that comparing 3D Sonic and 2D Sonic ultimately is comparing apples and oranges.
Not really. Because
I feel like
I would say so.
I would
think
say
there's different
that unless if
expectations.
you're like very specifically comparing maybe Adventure 3D Sonic, specifically Sonic, I think that most of the 3D Sonic games do not play or are structured like 2D.
I just want to say we got 3 other parts after this. Video games were a mistake. Read a book.
The last thing I'm going to say on that point is that the conversation did sort of begin in that awkward transition between Adventure 2, Heroes, and Shadow. So that is like the comparison being made is rooted in Adventure Sonic and in the series moving away from Adventure Sonic, you know. So, yeah.
No.